Don't even try to start that breaking out stuff already. No. No. First, can y'all hear both of us before we even start talking? Just somebody say, yes, we can hear both of you. Nicole, you talk too.
I can hear you.
I didn't hear your last word. That sucks.
Yes, you can hear me?
She said yes to the curly hair. Can y'all hear Nicole?
Can y'all hear me?
Well, we hope y'all can hear us because we have a really, really good announcement right now. We're going to do another giveaway before we start the show. Thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in. You already know this is Larhannah Robinson, IFBB Figure Pro, and Nicole Zenobia Graham, IFBB Figure Pro. We are your host on Beyond the Barbell. Before we get started and start talking about all these exciting topics, we wanted to give a shout out to Lisa Bella Ramsey with Show Glow and the competition kit. She is doing our next giveaway, guys. She is doing a sponsor. She's sponsoring us on a competition kit that has the value of $300. You're going to be getting competition heels, pump-up bands. You're going to get, the slide-on shoes, literally like slides. You get slides. Let me look at that. What else is on there? There's so much on there. Hold on, let me look. Let me.
I think abs of steel.
Exactly. Yep. You get a case for your bikini. There's so much on there. So after this, we're gonna post our flyer and we're gonna let you guys know the rules and stuff for that one, so y'all can enter for that giveaway because it's over $300 that you're getting with that competition kit.
I wish I was.
Seriously, I want one too. Shoot. So breaking news, Nicole, that you just found out. Please tell everybody what you told me.
Okay, so I know everybody had been wondering, waiting for explanation why figure of the festival in the United States for 2023. So thankfully, thanks to Kelly, a female bodybuilding channel who tagged me earlier, we have got our explanation. So I'm going to pull it up.
Dang it, you're cutting out.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Now I can, yes.
Okay. I think it's just because I'm too close. But I'm going to pull it up.
No, they still said it's not coming in clear. Dang it.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you whenever you like pause. Maybe go outside or something. I don't know.
Maybe I need to go.
Or do you have your Wi-Fi on? Turn off your Wi-Fi to see if your Wi-Fi will, so it doesn't try to keep connecting to your Wi-Fi. It'll just run off of your cell phone data.
Right. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah. Now you're frozen. Your voice is good. Now the video is just trying to catch up. Let's see.
Okay.
Nope. Now that's worse.
Clear?
No.
What?
Now, wait. Okay. Now it is. Okay. So, yeah. Try it now.
So we're clear? Okay. Are we good?
To me, yes.
Yes.
I hope to.
Okay, cool. All right. So, as I was saying, I'm going to pull up the post, and I will read it. Really shocked. I just feel like our division got totally disrespected. I feel like the top 10 for Olympia completely just got disrespected. But furthermore, let's get into it real quick. All right, go into here real quick. All right, so here we go. So Ryan Powers, the executive director of the Arnold Sports Festival, explains his decision. We look at all the sports we have, including bodybuilding, every single year, and we analyze whether we can host a competitive field or not. Based on our yearly analysis of all the divisions, we didn't feel we were in a position to host a world championship figure competition, which is what we are in the business of doing. We may be able to come back and do it again next year, depending on the depth of the field we feel like we didn't have the depth this year, we'll go back and we'll look at it again in 2024. Now, with that being said, I need you to take a look at these top winners, top placings for the Figure International. These placings, first of all, let's look at the lineup. Figure International consisted, if you see those check marks, Sydney Gillis, who is our current Miss Olympia, for a reason. Second, we have Natalia Sotero. Next one down there, Jessica Reyes Padilla. Myself, Nicole Zenobia Graham, Anna Robinson, Anne Dijon. Lola, that is 7 out of the 10 for the Figure International lineup. We have only 10 people in that Figure International lineup. So outside of that 7, 2 were outside of the top 10 from the 2021 Figure Olympia. And our 10th athlete was from the previous Olympia 2020. So that whole entire lineup was completely Olympian. So please tell me how this was not competitive.
Right.
I don't make any sense.
Right. I feel like he just disrespected the Olympia too, because he just said, hey, look, y'all put together a trash Olympia last year for the figure division. How about y'all redo that this year? And then we'll see what y'all end up with in 2023. And then maybe we might see if we want to have that division in the 2024, category. After that statement, I don't even feel like I want to do the Arnold. I don't even think I will apply to do the Arnold, because you disrespected me so much. Like, how can you say that the top 10 Olympians, there's no depth in that lineup? That's literally the whole top 10. That was a repeat of the Olympia. You had a whole repeat of the Olympia at your show. Who wouldn't want to go see that? Who wouldn't want to see that in the figure lineup? Like, come on. What else can there be for Miss Figure International for them to feel like we're good enough, for them that they're supporting the good enough top 10 people? What show or what does an athlete have to do to make you feel like they are worthy enough for you to put on a championship for them? Because that's what he said. Y'all aren't good enough yet. Maybe if y'all get good enough in 2024, we'll go ahead and put a show together for y'all then. But not until y'all are good enough. That's why we took y'all out.
Exactly. I mean, respect, Brian, even though you completely disrespected us, that makes no sense. I need you to come up with a better reason than we weren't competitive. And I just got facts from another athlete. If we really want to bring out the facts here, let's open my. Let's look at that lineup. There was only one top 5 person in that lineup. Please make it make sense.
He can't.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't even think, man, if you're going to say something like that, you first have to do research on the athletes that were in that lineup, because you invited us. You invited me for a reason. You wanted me there for a reason. That's why I got there. Why in the world would you tell me to come if you didn't even think I was good enough to be there? Why? You could have picked 100 million other figure competitors that were on that application list that were begging to get there just like I did. I finally get there and you tell me I'm not good enough to you weren't even good enough to be there, but thanks. Maybe 2024, we might bring you back. Like, no.
Another thing to note, we posted our Figure Sisters other day that are going to be doing the Arnold UK. Got a response back. Why? So at the end of the day, this is our division. I'm going to support you no matter which stage you're on. Now, if they want to decide, hey, I support that too.
Same. We're not going to just make you guys do something that we want to do because, we feel like this is right or this is wrong or whatever. No, we're here to inspire each other and to push each other and to back each other up, and be here for each other. This is what this platform is for us to grow and for us to build for us, because nobody's doing it for us. They're just taking us away and making us feel less and less and less. And it's our job now to make figure relevant and very obvious, and like we're here and we're not going anywhere. And it starts with not just the pros, but we have to make sure that the NPC division as well is getting that, you know, figure support. Because the reason why figure seems like it's a dying breed, which it's not a dying breed. There's a lot of figure competitors. The reason why there are no, you know, there's no publicity for it is because there's no NPC athletes. Everybody that's NPC now sees an outlet for wellness. So instead of them pushing their goals to be, you know, the great figure athlete that they can be, they're going down to wellness because they see a brighter future there. Oh, I'll get published if I go over here and I'm a wellness competitor. They'll praise me if I'm over here and I'm a wellness or bikini competitor. I'll get to step on this stage because now I'm a bikini competitor, not a figure competitor. What can they say that makes the world know that, hey, look, we have a figure division and the whole entire world can come here to look and find where the figure athletes are? There is nowhere. So we have to grow it from here. It starts right here. We can't let this happen anymore. Like, it's gone on long enough. Nicole, think about it. When you and I were not at the top and we were following figure, who was at the top? It was Candace Lewis-Carr.
Yep. Candace, Victoria Watts, Nicole Wilkins. I mean, that's just a few. And we've been Arnold, 2003. 2003. It's been a long. Figure has been around for a while. We have the athletes. It's time that we actually start the athletes. No one knows who we are because they don't put us out there. We need to do better for ourselves.
Exactly. We have to help each other because they're not going to help us out. So we have our main attraction, Nicole. Let the people know who we're bringing on today.
Miss Sheilahe Brown, Miss Foxy Brown herself, who is a pioneer in our industry. I cannot wait for us to sit down and talk with her because so many questions that we have to ask.
So many. I just requested her on. There she goes. Wait a minute. We all need a moment of silence. A moment of silence just to respect you for being on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm like so nervous. I'm like, because I don't do lives. I'm like, okay, am I pushing the right button? I was calling everybody. What do I do? How do I push live? I'll wait for you. So seriously, thank y'all for having me. And I've been listening as you, you know, vent and express your frustration. And, you know, I mean, it's so easy to get frustrated because, you know, I'm sure Brian has other things that probably he's not speaking out on, you know, and it's so easy for us to like, well, just communicate or talk to us, so tell us, or, you know, but it could be a financial, I'm just saying this, it could be financial thing because I'm playing devil's advocate.
Right.
He's probably thinking it won't get, I'm sorry, did y'all even ask me the question yet? I'm sorry.
No, but you're good. So wait, we just introduced you, y'all. This is Miss Sheilahe Brown. Y'all, she's amazing. We love her. She's literally an asset to bodybuilding. She's a promoter. She's the owner of Posing in Motion. She's almost on everybody's flyer. If y'all have a posing seminar in your city, she's been there and running it. So she knows the ins and the outs of everything, promoting the show, putting the show on, helping people get themselves together for a show. So we brought her on because we wanted to know her insight on all of this. Could you just tell us what you think about them, you know, getting rid of the figure division and, you know, what you were kind of already saying, like how you were saying he might not be telling us everything because we only see one side. We only know one perspective. He gave us that. So that's all we can think.
You know what? And each promoter goes through, each promoter that does the IFBB, they can pick and choose what categories to bring on. Mm-hmm. Like in the beginning, we just had bikini.
Okay.
We knew that, you know, there was a good call, there's a good audience for bikini and good tickets for the bikini. And then we thought, well, let's bring, you know, men's physique. And then we saw how that looked. Let's bring wellness. And figure, let me tell you, we've always wanted figure, but the push was Jessica. Mm-hmm. We wanted figure, and we realized how many figure ladies that we have, you know, and especially in Texas. And there weren't that many figure. So we weren't thinking, can we fill in the seats? We were thinking, let's provide a category that is not really that that well represented here.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, we're not really thinking about the tickets. We're thinking of who does figure. We need another figure. We need a figure show. And that's how we think. But some promoters might think, what can sell us tickets?
Right.
And and then also I was looking at who's not invited. So it's women's physique, bodybuilding, and figure, bodybuilding and figure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it could be also, I consider us like the extremists of the sport, and he might, I'm just gonna keep it real. We have a more muscular look.
Right.
And as I look at that lineup, it's a little bit more mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that, let's get away, they want everybody in the audience to do that. And I can do that. And then here we are, it takes a lot more for us to get on that stage.
So
all those three categories. So they might think we don't want to scare the ticket holders or the audience from, not wanting to compete.
Right. So how do you make the categories that seem, not so popular, not so mainstream, and, not attainable to the audience? How do you make those categories relevant? And, how do you help those categories grow if the shows aren't putting on the shows for the category? Because Nicole and I are absolutely obsessed with our division. We feel like our division is still very girly, still very, attainable for the public. But if somebody has to sacrifice themselves to help our categories, our divisions grow and be shown in such a light, like, hey, world, y'all can get like them. Y'all can be just like us. Y'all can do this. This is all it takes. These are what these athletes look like. This is what these athletes go through on a daily basis. I'm a whole mom over here. I got 2 children. There's plenty of mothers in the world. Just that alone will sell for the figure division. Why can we not, how can we get us out there without the support of our own, league? How can we make us relevant?
Have y'all ever thought about putting on a figure workshop?
Yes, absolutely. Because that's another question that we were going to ask you.
Amazing. Seriously, yes. Just do a posing workshop and talk about figure and talk about the criteria. And because a lot of these judges, the majority of them, they want the softer feminine look. They want that. But, we can only judge the shows up. But if you figure workshop and just, like on video, I'm always calling for fitness people because, that fitness, to me, is dying locally.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all don't have to be a gymnast. You can just, do a high kick, a split, and a couple of things and get in the category. And then long the pro card. Do a figure workshop. And just call, if you think you're too muscular, for this category, why don't you come over here and just and talk about it and talk about the workout for figure and talk about the posing for figure. And I think that would push. And I'm always talking about crossing over.
Okay.
That want to do figure, but you think you don't have a figure body.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to do figure, build for it. The crossover, do wellness and figure, physique, because those are really interchangeable. Mm-hmm. Really. I think that'd be a great idea if you and Phil be able to do that. Seriously.
Yeah. We've been
talking about it.
We were. But now that you're on here, if we invited you to do the workshop with us, now that you're on the spot in front of the people, would you mind being a part of that with us?
Oh no, I'd love to do that. That's just building from the ground up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because the ups, the powers that be in Pittsburgh, they would love to bring more NPC. So then you're making them happy because you bring more. People off the street that are just must go, oh my God, you're amazing having this workshop. So building more NPC will make Pittsburgh happy as well. And that's what you want too. Because
that's what we were talking about before you were coming on, is that it starts with the NPC, not just the IFBB Pro is already established. We already know what it tastes like to be a pro. So we're going to stop at nothing to reach our goals. We're going to do whatever it takes for us to have our category because, we're already in the satisfaction of being a pro. These younger pros don't even know what it's like to be a figure pro. So they need to be able to go somewhere to look up to these figure competitors. And me and Nicole were talking, we know that we're the leaders of our sport. The figure competitors, the pro figure competitors are the leader of our sport. And it's our job to go to these shows, to talk to these figure competitors, to show them what it's like to be a figure competitor in the world, so that our sport isn't so small and we can be broadcast worldwide everywhere for everybody to see. We can grow. There's plenty of people to be in all of these categories.
So many.
Starts
So
with
many.
us. It starts
Yes.
with us, like you said. So being the promoter of the Texas Pro, you just had a successful show. Congratulations. That was amazing.
And thank you all so much for coming. Zenobia flew all the way down here, and Lahana, you look amazing. And every picture they captured was fire. So thank you all so much for your support. Me and Freddie are really appreciative of that.
No, thank y'all for
show.
Beautiful. So tell us more about promoting. How long? Because let's say we did want to put together our own figure championship show. What would it take for us to start that, to build it? How long does it take to, make a show, all of that?
Yeah, so you need to spend money to make money.
Of course.
And so we like to spend, I like to spend money.
Yeah.
Very grounded. But y'all being athletes, you can run a successful show because you know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And for it to be like a figure show, that, oh my gosh, figure girls love this. And we love this. So you look at a nice venue with the right kind of stage for your heels, and a great, we look at the venue and the staging and the lighting and finding, because we're into just party, the great DJ, and then finding the hotel. We work on a year round.
Okay.
Texas Pro right after the battle last year in December.
Wow.
The judges you want, be mindful of the judges, the type of judges that you think the competitors would go for.
Mm-hmm.
Hey y'all, we having Sandy and Tyler and Excellent, blah blah blah. And we're having figure pro judges. We're having like Dr. Zanzi. She's the chairman for Mississippi, and she's a figure athlete, figure pro. So cater to what the ladies would love.
Right.
Get a female DJ, get a female MC, and make it all about like women empowerment.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a really good one.
Phoenix, they put an all-female show,
right?
And it's just a vibe,
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to do. We said we wanted to build something, for figure, just like Rising Phoenix, because Jake Wood took over. He was not letting women's bodybuilding disappear, and me and Nicole are determined to not let figure disappear. So we want people to know, what it takes for us to just get ourselves out there, for us to be relevant, to make us not be forgotten, and to actually be able to display the physiques that we work so hard for year round. You said you work year round on the show, but like, what's the time frame? So like, let's say right now today we wanted to make this show, and we wanted it to happen in 2023. How many months would it take us, like, to put everything together, talking to the right people, actually getting them to say yes? Because how does it work? Like, if you want to have a figure open show, does it matter with how many? Okay.
Chairman and say, hey, I was wondering, and it's always probably better because there's so many shows and maybe go to where Zenobia is, where they're not that many shows, and maybe a chance to better. Talk to the chairman, say, hey, this is what I want. And we get a show. You might not get 2023, but they'll start looking at 2023 is like right around the corner.
Right.
But I would start thinking like, 2024, and them already with, we have an idea of the venue, and this is kind of what we have in place. They like to know you already had a plan before you pay. Once you get the okay from that chairman, then the excitement starts, the venue, and it's and getting your own staff that you can depend on.
Okay.
It's, like many Zenobias and many Lohanas, because y'all can't do it all. And you don't want to do it all. You want to be the face of it.
Right.
But you have to have a great support staff. We have great support staff. So, and each state, they carry their show different. Some states, they use their own stuff, not NPC. So it kind of depends. So once you start going to shows now, your Georgia shows with a different purpose. normally y'all go to a show to look at the show.
Right.
So you go, or maybe y'all did it in my show, go to the show to look at how they run the show. So now you're not going as a competitor, you're going as a promoter. And look at what you like, what you don't like. Put that in mind. So you got to put on another hat. Start going to shows with that promoter hat on and looking at that. That's the main thing. And you start knowing what you want, what you don't want. But the first thing is go to your chairman, get their blessing, and move from there. Do you want amateur? You want amateur and pros? You know, don't do just pros because there's no money in it.
Right.
And they proved us wrong because those seats were full on Friday. But you know, pros, they don't pay. There's no entry for them. They get a free ticket. You just have to hope that the city wants to come in and spend money.
Right.
Normally they'll come when it's attached to NPC. You know, because that's where the money is. But
you, because we really admire you and how you know, just your whole aura, just your whole overall being. You truly, genuinely want to help. And there's not that many people in our industry that are like that, you know, that are genuine and genuinely want to help and genuinely, you know, want to make the city grow and help and all that. How did you just, you know, get yourself in with the way that you're in? You have all these connections, you know, because we're trying to eventually build something like this for Figure, and we're trying to build these relationships as well. I mean, you've come a long way, you know, you've worked yourself up there, all the way up there. We just, how did you make it possible? Like, how did you make that possible for yourself?
You know, it was first of all, it's by the grace of God, because
Amen.
You know, I wasn't even asking for a show.
Wow.
I started competing in '83, then I became a judge from years ago, and then I started judging national shows, and then Ed Cariso called me and said, "Hey, you want a show?" And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, sure, I would love. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know anything about show. I'm not like that. We need you to get a show. Okay, I'll take a show. So then you start thinking, who can I find that what my weakness is their strength in restraining they do.
Wow.
Because he is business savvy. He's a business person. And I'm like, let's pose. Everybody gets in free. He's like, no, you don't get in the box office. Stay away from the box office. But so you have to find that perfect partner to know that, you know, she's your yin to your yang.
Right.
You know, and make that and keep that bond and keep that friendship. You got to keep it strong, because the higher y'all go up, the more haters are trying to put you down. So that was it. Every week they gave me the show. I brought in, and we started the Marriott Hotel in this little ballroom. They gave us a show in December. I'm like, December? We can't do a show in December. Who's gonna come in December? And the first year we were so excited. It was sold out. It was 100 people. We're like, oh my God, 100 people are so excited. And then it got bigger. Then we had to move from the Marriott to the Convention Center. Then we had to do that. And then you got to find you just get venue that'll work with you. So we had to jump from venue to venue till we find that sweet spot. But it's the communication. And then from there, you get those judges that come in. And then you say, hey, y'all, thank y'all so much for coming. You know, we would love to have you next year. What would you like to say? What could we do better? You know, have a conversation. And that's where it is. You get that, start judging or doing something with staying in NPC, because that's you got your pro card. Right. Help backstage. Can I volunteer backstage? And then can I help, you know, give water to the judges and make sure the judges are okay? And hey, Tyler, you okay? Actually, y'all good, you know? And they start to see that you care for the athlete, and then your name is in their mouth.
Right.
I've been thinking about it, you know, and then you can find that person that you can mentor. I get mentored by Zanzi. She's out of Mississippi. She's just my mentor. So I talk to her, then I talk to Dre, because she was someone before me, hostess. And you just start just talking to different people and getting other people have people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to find the people that are okay to help you.
Right.
Because we can all eat. There's
Mm-hmm.
go around. You know, there's enough to
Yeah.
go around. You just have to find that person. Just like I'm a opposing coach, y'all opposing coaches, but look at us here.
Mm-hmm.
We still help each other. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the hardest thing is, you know, women not empowering women. If you empower
Right.
women, you could build like empire. You know?
Exactly.
So I think that, I mean, that's how I started competing and then judging and then judging national shows. So national shows you're judging next to everybody,
Right.
you know, and then the big break is when Edgar Reese says, you know, here's a show. So then you start knowing the judges on the other side, not as a competitor, but as a promoter. So it makes you help the athletes too. Because
Right.
now you know this judge and how they are. If you talk to your opposing clients, let me tell you, this is what we got to do. We got to come in like this, it's like this, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like it is who you know. It's who you know.
Right.
It's the quality of time being with the people that you know.
Exactly. Because
It can
I told you this too, and I told my coach. I was like, I want to do the Texas Pro next year, and I want to do it not because just to redeem myself, not even for that. It's because of how personable you were. You came backstage and you thanked all of us for doing your show. I've never had that done to me before. When I've done a show before, it's just like you do a show and that's just a show. Bye, good, cool. Are you coming back next year? No, you had the decency to, after I even finished just getting off stage, to come back there to talk to us before we're about to go escape and go get our reward meal, to go thank all of us for doing your show. That's what keeps the connections. That's what makes us athletes respect you and reach out to you for this type of advice on how we can be like you in the division to help our division keep growing, because you are such a light to so many people. You're such a light. You do so much for our community, for the bodybuilding community, and me and Zenobia just want to do that for the figure division.
and
So
see y'all be
really,
competitors like that. You know how that's me. I know what I wanted when I was competing backstage, and maybe I was frustrated. I wanted somebody to do that. That's what y'all would be doing to us girls backstage, because you know how to be at the Arnold and be not. You know, so you know how to make the girls feel wanted and accepted, because you know how it feels not to be accepted.
right.
So you just kind of put all that love on them, because it makes me feel good knowing that somebody is happy that I touched them,
Right.
and have a conversation.
Right.
It might be 2 seconds.
Yeah, but still,
But
2 seconds is
yeah.
that's a lot.
Yes.
That's
I think y'all would be powerful. I think you would be powerful just,
we're gonna
putting something
yeah,
on.
So you told us all of the stuff that goes into it. We already know it takes over a year, because like you said, 2023 might not be in the works for figure championships, maybe 2024, just because of how quick it's coming. But
Right.
let's talk about the other end of, like a show. So when you're putting together a show for this division, and you get your athletes, you can't determine who's going to show up and who's not going to show up.
Right.
Nicole and I both feel like sometimes the athletes don't really appreciate the show that is being put on for them. And we're curious if, so after an athlete does pre-judging and they don't get top 5 or they don't get first call out, some of them won't come back. Right. Do the judges hold that against the athlete the next time they do a show? Because when an athlete doesn't come back in the evening, it's very disrespectful, because you're not here. Why are you not coming back to a show that was put on for you specifically? And then backstage, they're out there calling your number. So now the expediters are frustrated because they can't find you because you're not in line. You're gone home because you lost and you're a sore loser. So now everybody else is frustrated around you because that one person that didn't show up in the evening time made the expediter, annoyed. So whenever there are athletes like that, do they get in trouble for not coming back, or is it just like whatever, they didn't come back, or like how do you handle that type of situation?
So they don't get in trouble, but the judges that are athletes, it's in their mind more than other judges. because we are athletes. So when they say number 22, and number 22 is in the second call out, in the middle, could have been the first call out, we know number 22. We might not the person that was in the fifth call out, but we know that call out. Because I mean, we're still switching. All the call outs, we're still switching. 23 and 44 is switch. We still know the numbers. So in our head, we're like, it's 22. In my head, I do that. If I know him, well, get your butt back on this. I'll call him out. I'll call him. I'm like, well, I wasn't going to play. It doesn't matter. Because it speaks of their character if they don't come back.
Sportsmanship. Sportsmanship.
Yes.
Even if you're
yeah.
Even if you're amateur, even if you're pro, it doesn't matter. It's sportsmanship. Still professional. Not coming back to a show that was put on for you, it is.
Yes.
And I'm glad you didn't actually say that so that else can hear. Because I think they don't really realize that.
They don't. I was last call out for years. I was the very last one. I was so small and vital, and I still stood there, and I still came back. But y'all, back in the day, only the top 15 would come back. They'll call the top 15 in the morning, and everybody else have a good weekend. So when I was there, when I was competing, only top 15 come back. I could have just flown in on Friday, didn't make the cut on Saturday. Got to go back home on. I mean, just that quick. And then people start coming back, but I was always last call out. I just stood there and I smiled until I got that first call out. But it took me years. So when someone says I haven't got my pro card, I've been training for a whole year, I have no patience for that because it took me way longer. And the ones that get the ones that get the pro card so quickly, they don't understand what it means to get first call out. Because if they're always out and they've always won and they get that pro card and their last card, sometimes they pick the fit. They don't know. They don't appreciate what it means. You can appreciate more when you got third call out and then you get second call out. Then you're in the first call out. You appreciate. If you're always winning, then you don't know how to act if you don't win.
Right. I had to learn that myself. I literally got called out on that. Like, not by anybody in the IFBB, but my coach told me. He's like, look, you can't be a sore loser. Like, you just can't be a sore loser. You have to learn how to get better at being hard. So I want to say thank you to my coach, Lalo, for teaching me how to be a professional, because before I would do the same exact thing. I would just be bitter if I didn't get first call outs, because me and Nicole talked about this in a previous episode. Everybody on that pro stage is used to being top call outs first place. Everybody that becomes a pro is used to being first call outs, dead center. That's it. That's why you're in this league, because everybody's used to that. Then you have to change your perspective. My coach told me, look, Ronnie Coleman took 10 years to be Ronnie Coleman. When I thought about that and really processed that, I'm like, why am I tripping over this? I'm only 31. I have a lot of years in me to go left. You know, like, I haven't even hit my peak yet. Keep going. You just have to keep going, like you said. You do. You just keep going. Stand there and be confident.
And that's what y'all use when you have your athletes backstage. Like the little pep talks you can have backstage, because y'all are relatable. You know, either both of you have different journeys. So it's like hearing real talk. And, you know, some might lose, some might win, but, you know, we love you all. So thankful, because, you know, we are nothing without our athletes. Because y'all are the ones that fill in the ticket holder everywhere. So it was a pleasure to see all the figure girls when there's not that many in NPC. And then when I started seeing the figure girls coming pros, I'm like, where were y'all when we just had, you know, we're the baby pros. You know, where are those NPC athletes that, you know, they're probably scared. I don't want to look too muscular. You're not going to look too muscular. You're not. You can control how you look. And the posing in figure is so classy and sexy. You can make that. It's so much to work with making yourself look feminine.
Right. So can you tell us about your show that's coming up in December, and you know, all the plans that you have for that? And before you announce, any posing seminar, me and Nicole just want you to include us into that if you can do that for us. For the figure girls, please.
Want to turn to the right? Y'all see my little cup?
Exactly.
Yes. Let me just have a sip of my coffee.
Fill us in on the tea.
But seriously, I mean, that would be amazing if y'all came down. We could have a workshop. But, I got to include all my babies.
Of course.
But just being part of making a figure workshop that's still in all categories and then bring y'all in for the figure. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then send that name, and pretty soon you can make that big. But yeah, so we can. I would love to do I love posing workshop and just making it more interesting, making it more, like standing alone. But yes, I'm sorry. I showed the Battle of Texas. Is it? Get off track.
No, we need all of this. We need it.
It's a one-day show. It's a one-day show.
Okay.
And I think we said, what did he say? I think we said bikini and men's physique.
Okay.
Because one thing y'all need to know too, if you ever want to put in a pro show, that section for each division is a beast.
Yes.
I think that's the hardest thing is, we were worried about, we had all divisions except women's bodybuilding, because Jay amazed with that, and fitness. But like NPC, you just pay like sanction for a year, and it's just one big sanction. But for pros, every category you want is a fee, and it differs between figure might be one sanction fee, and pro bodybuilding could be another sanction fee. So you got to keep that in mind. But ours is bikini and men's physique, and then it's all fee. And that's in the same location because we love that location.
Location.
You like that? Yes. Did you stay at the Westin? Did y'all stay at the Westin?
Yes, I did.
Okay. But it's a walking, and that's mindful too. Keep in mind of what's surrounding it. Can I leave the car there and go eat and come back? Yes.
Exactly.
So we love that location.
Yeah, but we'll definitely do that because it starts with the NPC, not just the pros.
It does.
Because you're having NPC, we would love to still be a part of your workshop, to support our figure sisters and push the figure division, because that's the overall goal for us next year, is to push figure as much as possible in the NPC and IFBB, and we would love for you to help us do that because we know you have the best connections. I mean, you helped all of us. Look at us now because of you and how you inspired us to get this going for the figure division. We want to utilize you as much as we possibly can.
Well, y'all, you can always pick up the phone. You have my number.
Yeah, true that. True that.
So yeah, and just think of it. We're just calling our home world and saying, hey, I need this. Or how can I? And vendors. That's the hard thing for me because I don't know how to ask for money. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's getting a vendor saying, can you give me some money? And
right.
Hard for me, but
yeah.
Like I'm not a car salesperson.
Okay.
So that's the hardest thing is trying to get vendors because vendors helps you offset that cost.
See, I told Nicole, I said, Nicole, whenever I'm talking to our sponsors, the first thing I do is brag about her. So me and my partner, I pull up her track record right there. I don't have no shame in it. I know those vendors are something special because you can't, like you said, you can't put on a show by yourself. You can't. You need the support of the community and everybody in there, period. So Nicole, announce what we're gonna do for next year for figure.
Okay.
Curly figure girls.
Yes. Okay, so major announcement, Beyond the Barbell for E3, we will be using a show of choice. We will be adding onto the prize money or the figure open division $1,000 of what they are giving for the figure open division. Show of choice. That is not something we are just saying.
That is awesome. When is the show again?
Oh, we haven't picked the show. We haven't picked the show yet, but we are definitely using the show for 2023.
Right. So that's 20,000 on top of whatever the prize money is for our show of choice, Beyond the Barbell,
That's a
for
game
open
changer.
figure.
Yeah.
Open figure. That's a big deal. So y'all
That's
be
a
on the lookout.
And yes, no, I can't compete. We know.
Yeah, we're not going to do it. We're going to host the show. We're not going to do that show. So we're definitely
yeah.
not going to. That would be
Y'all
like.
can't be the platinum sponsor and then be in the first call out.
No, we're not going to use our money to pay our taxes. No.
That is amazing. That is good. That would get it right there. Who would say no to that?
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. That'd be good.
So y'all be on the lookout for that.
So how does the show, I mean, how do you pick the show of choice? Like, is there a criteria or the first person that texts you? Because I got both of y'all's phone numbers. Text you right now to make sure. Hey, Zenobia, listen, I want to put out.
No, we haven't talked about it yet. We haven't. We just have to discuss, what me and her plans are for the figure, Beyond the Barbell and what we're trying to do for the figure.
I'm doing.
Right.
Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm trying to do your show.
See, so we can't pick you. We can't do your show if we're gonna do if we pick your show. That means we won't be able to be in it.
That's true. That is true.
So we have to take that into consideration too.
I don't want y'all in my show. I just give me the
right. Give me the money.
No, but just something about you putting on a show and get a chance to sit in the audience and see the people that you know on the stage.
Right.
I mean, I was everywhere, but then when the girls were the figure girls first, it was the first one thing.
Yeah.
When I was walking by and just seeing the backs, I almost had tears in my eyes just seeing all the women that were just beautiful that came to the show, and seeing them on stage. It was just beautiful. Oh right. My God, sorry.
Because you did the damn thing. The lighting there was amazing. I mean, not one complaint with what you did for the Texas Pro.
Brady is big with the lighting. The lighting, y'all, is everything.
It is. It is. And those fireworks that you did before finals, like, really? Come on now. Like, everything that you're doing, we're going to try to top, by the way, for Figure Championships. Pick that up.
Just let me know in advance.
No, we're going to let you have yours first so we can go off of that.
No, honestly, this is what I want. I don't know how we're going to get it or how we're going to. I just need to call somebody in. But y'all saw that figure show internationally where they come up.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yes. Like, well, where did they get that from?
Well,
yes.
Like that.
What?
They literally are on like a platform coming up, and they are on it like they're rotating. Everybody's standing still, and they're rotating according to the audience, so you get to see each athlete come past you.
Freddie, if you're watching, I want that.
Yeah. Me, us too.
Ooh, that's that
too. Make it work for all three of us.
Yeah. Man, yes. But yeah, but let me tell you, that's great news. Once y'all announce that, there'll be people creating pro shows.
Right.
Have that. But that's good. That's an awesome way. And then the people that y'all pose, don't forget, do their show so that promoter knows that y'all promote that show. If y'all posing workshops.
Right, exactly.
Y'all pose in your group posing sessions, like, okay, who's doing such and such show? Awesome. Right. And they'll get that extra because you'll be at the show.
Exactly. So that's our overall goal is to, be promoters for the figure division because we don't have them. So Nicole and I are taking it upon ourselves we know we're going to have to sacrifice in the beginning, but we're willing to do that for our division not to die. So that's the first step. Pick a show, and we're going to promote the F out of that show. Make a posing workshop in Atlanta for Houston for it, and we're just going to try to blow it up with the NPC and really just give back to the figure athletes because they do way too much in the gym. They do way too much meal prepping. They're actual bodybuilders. It's not like, they're only growing just working out ass all day. No, you literally have to work out every single body part to make it symmetrical from the top to the bottom. It has to be balanced. So they deserve the money to do that. Because our economy right now, just to buy meal prep food, is a lot. and they're not getting even that in return when they're doing a pro show. You know what I mean? Like, we have to do something for the division to stay standing, so that way all these athletes feel like they're working towards something.
Right, exactly. And that, if anybody wants to sponsor, it would be a food sponsor, because that's where all the money goes. But on the figure physique, on the figure body, that is a science, because out of all the categories, you have to be perfectly balanced. Wellness is bottom heavy. You know, bikini, you can be too muscular. You know, bodybuilding is up to the, you know, up to sky's the limit. You know, and same with women's physique, but figure, it has to be perfectly symmetrical, but not striated, and not too hard, and don't have blocky abs, but no veins. It's a science. I mean, how do you create that perfect look with nothing being too more than the other?
Right. I mean, you're looking at it. I'm just kidding.
I like
right. And what I like is the humbleness and the modesty.
I'm so humble. Okay. No, there's a question on here from one of our viewers, and they're asking you, they said, do you think that the figure division is going the opposite way? Because right now what you just explained is perfect, but they're asking your opinion to see if you think that, because figure, if you think that the figure girls are too big for the category.
You know, some are too big, some are way past the criteria, and then it depends on really who shows up. You know that. And we've judged people where she's too much, but this girl is too not. She's too soft, and we gotta, you know, we've got to at least awards for conditioning and diet. But when you get that perfect package, you can see it. When you actually see it. But yeah, some girls are getting way out there, but some girls, if they're trying to get maybe this right, so then they sacrifice everything else. Or some girls might not have enough muscle, so they try to buy enough muscle.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it just you got to have that perfect package, and that perfect package has to be on that stage. You know, so yeah, some girls are getting where I was like, ooh, yikes. You know, same with bodybuilding. Some in every category. I've seen some bikini girls like, you're not fit.
Right.
You know, in every sport, it's something that they're in the wrong category. That's why I would say, you know, cross over. So you'll know. But
what would make you tell a figure athlete that's in the figure division to cross over? What body part would you look at and say, hey, because I see this body part or this, you know, that's not as balanced as this, I think you should move to this category. So like, let's say you see, use me as an example, you know, so let's say you're looking at me and imagine my waist not being as small as it is. Say it was the same size as my lats and my legs. I was blocky, you know, and you're telling me I need to move to a different category. Why would you give me the advice to move to another category?
I would never say move. I would say cross over. Because my God, everybody is amazing in both categories. You know, if you just build your lats a little bit, do women's physique, I would do that. I would say, why don't you cross over? Talk to your trainer, see what he thinks, because then the judges can see you in a different light. And then I tell them, and if you can get your pro card in this division, you can always, or when you get your pro card. See, they like to hear that.
Right.
You know, cross over and if you don't want to do women's physique, but women's physique is a little bit smaller right now in numbers, get that pro card and then come back to figure. So it lets them know that if I want to get a pro card, just play the game. I can play that game. You know, I was too big for women's physique back in the day. But so I couldn't flex, I couldn't carve up, I couldn't pump up backstage. I was not even flexing my back. I just kind of tried to look as small as I could until I got that pro card. So I say play the game.
Right.
And let your body do the talking. If you know, or either learn how to keep that face tight. I don't know what it is with the figure girls and getting thicker in the midsection, because you're taking away from the criteria. They need to learn the criteria. Everybody needs the criteria. Shoulders wider than the lats wider than the waist. It's gotta once y'all have the workshop and educate them on that, we'll get more people according to the criteria. The
Right.
more people that y'all touch and you let them know this is the criteria, and you have your hands on it, that's the standard. They'll get more of the standard. It's the video y'all put out, and y'all are doing an amazing job with it. Just amazing, just being empowering other women. So y'all getting that voice coming out there. So use that voice if you have the workshops and start educating them. Like, I don't want to see all that.
Right.
You know, just like when they do that bikini pose and they grab their ankle.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to see all that. I have one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Right.
that's your way of talking to them. You can talk to them candidly. What's going on here? Get rid of it. You know?
Yeah.
Don't talk. You know, you can talk to them candidly, and they'll understand it more. You know,
Right.
they'll accept it more in that kind of setting.
That's so right. You're so right. We really, really appreciate you for coming on today.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
So excited for the future and to be working your workshop in the future for the MPC girls. Could you tell everybody again when your show is in December, right before we sign off, so that they can know one more time?
December 9th and 10th at the Urban Convention Center here in Dallas, Texas. It's called the Battle of Texas. Battle Up.
Awesome. Y'all don't forget, we're going to be putting our flyer for the giveaway next week for the competition kit. And then Nicole announced that Beyond the Barbell is going to be giving $20,000 to an open IFBB Figure Pro show of our choice. So be on the lookout for that in 2023.
NPC promoters, y'all hear that? Get you a Figure Pro division. Yeah, this is free money. This is free money.
Literally.
I'm mad. You got me mad.
Literally. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Yes, thank
Bye. Have a good one.
Thank you so much. Bye, y'all.
you. All right, bye, y'all.
Bye.